Hi everyone, it's Clyde at Vibrant Soap, and a lot of people have been asking me for a color tutorial, and I've kind of resisted because there's a lot of color videos on YouTube already. So as I always do as an artist, I look around. I look around at nature and whatever is in front of me. And recently I went on a trip and I decided to take a lot of pictures of the doorways in Mexico. And when I came back, I sorted through them and divided them into some colors. So this is just the first part of a series on color that I hope is helpful, and I will eventually get to a video where I show some color mixing. But right now we're just going to look at color, and I'm going to do a little voiceover talking about what I'm looking at or what you're looking at in these videos. Hopefully something that can be useful to you. I didn't find every single color there is in my photograph, so I'm only going to be talking about what I actually did photograph, and I'm going to include some basic colors, the reds, blues, purples, and such. But there are a couple of the photographs that actually have color combinations. So I'll be showing you something like the analogous color scheme and complementary color scheme, neutrals, they're all there. So this one's just for you to kind of kick back and absorb color visually, which is a great way to pursue it. So sit back and enjoy. Thank you. So we're going to first talk about the neutrals, black, white, and gray. We use white with the titanium dioxide, and usually with black we use black oxides or activated charcoal, but for the most part we want more color than that. So now we're going to talk about the reds, and in these cases you can see reds basically in accent color. We have maroons that are shades of red with black added to it, and we have pastels, corals, magentas. All of these have are types of reds that has a little orange in it. You can see the darker bottom portion of some of these buildings have shades and tints of red. Red with white, like in this case, is a pastel. And you're seeing beautiful combinations of browns and blacks and grays with red too. Beautiful doorways that we've seen in Mexico. These are the cities of Guanajuato and San Miguel de Allende and Guadalajara. There's some with chocolate brown, a lot of browns and reds. Then talk about the blues, and very little blue. I just got a couple examples of those there. Here's yellow and blue, and there's a lot of oranges. They like these warm colors. They go well with the earth. That's an analogous color scheme when you have colors that are close to the color wheel all combined in the same scheme. And I would suggest getting a little simple color wheel. They're not very expensive if you go to a little art store. Orangey browns also. And talk about the greens. Very little green, but I found some, usually with browns, this one with white. Purple, just a couple examples here, used as an accent color, but the brown even has a little purple in it. Brown with olive and green is really a good combination. These are brown, of course, raw wood, chocolate browns, orangey browns. And then the earth colors that are colors that you can find, of course, in the earth. So reds, purples, browns, oranges, ochres. They all look great together. Kind of natural soaps would be great with these colors. Olive and lavender are great color combinations. This sort of oxide red is everywhere too. It's just beautiful. And complementary colors are those colors that are exactly across from each other on the color wheel, and they give you a kind of dynamic looks, like the red and greens are opposites. That's orange and green, but orange has red in it. Green and red. There's the red and green next to each other again, and yellow and purple, opposites. Complementary colors, oranges and blues. Red and green. Now, analogous color schemes are those colors that are right next to each other on the color wheel. Orange, red, yellow. Saw a lot of that in Mexico. There are others, but they just more typically they're orange, reds, and yellows that I saw. Any three colors you see right next to each other on the color wheel would be an analogous color scheme. And then soon we're going to be talking about accents. So an accent color. Okay, so now we're going to be talking about accents, and accents kind of fall in this category of an additional color added to another color scheme just for the purpose of being an accent, something that kind of stands out. So in each one of these, it was sort of hard to define a color scheme because there's one going on there, but it's confused by the fact that there's another color going on in there too. So there's like analogous color schemes with the with reds, yellows, and oranges with a purple tossed into it, something like that. And they kind of jar your brain a little bit. You can see here that it's like a mix. And this is even more extreme, where there's like a mix of so many colors. It's hard to talk about it in terms of a color scheme. Okay, so that's this short little video on color. Hope you enjoyed that, and there'll be others that follow that go into detail on some of these colors. And we'll talk to you later.